Hey, what up, guys? So, I figured this is a nice spot. I'm all the way in Nepal now, this is a city called Pokhara, and I'm off on the side up top of a hill. The um, the real city's back there, and around the mountain. But I have this nice place here. There's a bunch of rooms downstairs, and yeah, what better place to talk about trains? So, let's see, not too many questions. I think the main one is why did you do that? You could have paid for a better seat. So, first reason is money. It's like two and a half, three times more expensive. So, the last minute ticket was something like 13 US dollars, and it would have been like 30, 40, like it's more like 40. Um, plus, yeah, around 40 bucks for the next highest level. But it's super important. There's like five levels. There's like the general class, which is just seats. There's no lying down. Then you have the sleeper, which is what you saw in that video. And if you haven't seen the train video, go check it out. 40 hours on a train. Maybe I'll put a link thing here. Um, but yeah, then you saw what I was in. It has the three levels. Um, where the back will fold out into a laying down for nighttime sleeping. But there's no crowd control, so there's way more people than there are seats getting onto the trains. There's not really assigned seats. Everyone just tries to share the floor and the three tiny beds. There's at least like, there's people sitting, sleeping on the floor, trying to lie down on the gross floor. Everyone's walking and leaving trash and everything, and food spilling down, and it's not really clean. And then there's at least two people, sometimes three people, on these very much one person little cot like beds that fold out on the train. So so you just spend that next layer, which is going to be two and a half at the low end. We'll say two and a half more expensive. We'll call it 35 US on the cheaper side, maybe, compared to 13 for the sleeper car. So you have 3 AC, which means it's the same thing as the sleeper car, same setup, but it's an AC chamber, air conditioning, and also it's assigned seating. So there's only the people who bought tickets for that train car who are on that train car. No one else is allowed to be sitting in there, so it's much more calm. It's not congested. You also get little bit of like, nicer clientele. Um, so people are a bit more respectful of the space and things like that. But to be fair, I also had such a good time on the sleeper car. The people were very friendly, very nice. I always, like in India, the people are very kind and friendly. Almost everyone, you know. Of course, you get your riffraff, but that's everywhere in the world. But I had a really nice experience with the people in the sleeper class. But you have 3 AC, then you have 2 AC, which means only two people instead of three beds. You only get two beds, and it's much more spacious and roomy. Everybody can very easily chill out, and that's going to be like twice as expensive again. And then you have one AC, I believe, and then there's also like a first class chamber that some trains will have. But yeah, you can pay more, get nicer seating, but the reason I didn't is I travel with very little, and I try to save money everywhere I can. And the sleeper car, it's okay. I get there, everything's fine. You hang out with the local people. It's that good experience. But I've actually already done that once on like a 60-hour train ride. So I didn't need to do it again. And to be fair, I would recommend going on the 3AC. And the next time I have a massive train ride in India, I will be paying the extra. If I have, I don't know, if I have 2 nights on the train, 100% paying extra. One night on the train, I'm not sure. I might bite the bullet and pay less. And another question someone put out there was, I mentioned that I don't use toilet paper when I am going number two. And they said, how do you do that? Well, you got a finger, and you got a spray gun, or you got a cup of water, or bucket of water. And so And so you're just squatting there. One hand has a jug, your right hand or your non-dominant hand, and then your other hand kind of acts as a little cup underneath your butt, and then you pour water into your hand, and you just use one finger, and you just wipe everything clean. And when you're squatting, it's a lot cleaner. I don't know, when we're sitting on a toilet, I mean, this might be TMA for some people, but oh, I got a bee with me. But when you're sitting on a toilet in the Western style, your cheeks stay kind of closed. But when you're squatting down, your cheeks are spread wide open. So it's a lot cleaner. You know, there's nothing touching anything. So it's very clean. You just a little finger with some water. Um, a few cups rinsing and rubbing, and you're good to go. Then you just really, the only thing that's dirty is the one little finger. So you just go to the sink, you clean it off with some soap, really good, you know, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, do a good clean, wipe, you know, clean your whole hands, but you pay special attention to the poop finger. And but yeah, and it's super easy, and it saves material, like, you know, waste. You're not putting any extra garbage in the world. You're not clogging. Like in Asia, you can't flush anything down the toilets, so all of the poop tissue just goes into the toilet, goes into the landfills, goes into the earth eventually, which would be fine if you're burying it, but here it just stays around. Or if you're an ignorant foreigner like most of us, you flush it down toilets and create clogs in the drainage systems. But even in the USA and Western places, it's really not that great flushing things down the toilet. So it's nice to not have that. And I travel with a little travel bidet that I use when I go hiking and camping, and I just, you know, you have a little squirt bottle and you just clean yourself that way, and it's so much better, especially if you've ever been in hyper rich hiking areas with so many people, and there's just these little TP poops everywhere. Just like, it's just kind of gross seeing these white TP flowers, these poop flowers everywhere on the trail. So it's really nice. I like it. Recommend it. And then just in general, I don't know, there wasn't really any other questions out there, but just in general, I love, like, it's just like, I had a friend actually message me after he saw that video, and he's like, oh, it's just so India. And so, I mean, there's many different aspects to India, and I spent 12 months now in India, 4 different trips there. Um, and I really like, I adore India for so many things, but it's also such a challenging place, as you would have seen there. It can be very dirty, and there's a lot of poverty. There's you know, the streets, the people are not respecting the streets. They're throwing garbage everywhere. There's a lot of, I would say, rude behavior and disrespect, even though they are very friendly. But there's just the big clashing of um, disrespect's the wrong word, but there's a big clashing of cultures between West and, we'll just say, India specifically, where things considered not okay in the West are considered perfectly okay and even expected in India. And I don't have a specific example, but it's just there's a numerous number of these clashes that occur, and so it's really challenging too. And so all of that is experienced on the train. So I mean, if you come to India and you only have 2 weeks or something, you take yourself on a long train ride, get a sleeper car seat, and you will have, you know, the most India of India coming to you. I love everyone walking through the cars, the train cars, and selling things. You just hear these people just walking, chai, 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 coffee, chai, coffee, chai. Pani, pani, pani. Pani means water. And so it's just pani cookies, pani cookies, biscuits, they say. Biscuits, biscuits. That's the English influence. And but yeah, just everyone just like, I love it so much. The vendors going through the train cars all the time. Samosa, samosa. I really adore it, man. I really do. But I also find it super challenging, like, in not the vendors, but in general, the dirtiness, the crowdedness, the Like the food isn't the healthiest. It's overly greasy, overly spicy. I'm older now, and so my belly isn't doing as well as it, it can't handle the things it used to handle. So the over greasiness, the over spiceedness, not like spicy like hot chili peppers, but they put so many spices, really strong spices in their cooking. The cooking's different all over India. It's 28 states, and every state still holds on to its old traditions before it became unified as India. There's 28 kingdoms that kind of were forced to come together. I don't remember exactly how, but becoming India. I assume the English were a part of that, and they still maintain their individuality in a lot of regards. It's not so homogenous yet, but in the north specifically, there's a lot of those spices, and I just can't eat it. So yeah, so when you're on the train, your options are very limited, and anyway, it's good not to eat on the train because the less you eat, the less you poo. And the less you poo, the less you use nasty bathrooms. That's the other thing about the AC cars. I don't know for sure, they might have cleaner bathrooms with less people using them, but double check that one. Alright guys, that's it about trains. I hope you enjoyed. I mean, I think that was one of my favorite videos that I put together. It was so cool showing off India like that. But I hope you enjoyed this little talk about, and I'll catch you guys next time.